For the second part of my development plan, I did 8 online webinars from the National Office of School Counselor Advocacy. These webinars were all related to college planning and stressed planning for your future starting in 8th or ninth grade at the latest. The first main fact I got out of this was that by the year 2018, over 63% of jobs in the United States will require some sort of post-secondary degree. The first webinar was on college aspirations. This was more family-based. It talked about ways that families and schools can prevent dropouts, ways that we can encourage student staying in school by encouraging their involvement in the school community. I thought relating this to Bridgeway with our new school council or student council activity and the Facebook interaction of the students. It also stressed building relationships with the families and relationships between the families and their students. I feel like our families already have strong relationships as a family unit, but maybe encouraging families to connect with each other may be a way that we can work in this area. And it kind of talked a little bit about positive peer pressure. If you have a student going to college, introduce him to a student who's borderline, and maybe that student will decide, I really should be going to college. The next webinar was academic planning for college and career readiness. Basically, it was encouraging students and families and counselors to look at various school requirements. Look at your dream school, sort of a high-end school, look at a state school, and look at a community college and see what you need to get into each of these schools. Try to identify the track that your student is going to be on early. For example, if your student needs to take AP Calculus in order to get into the college of their dream, they're really going to have to take Algebra 1 in 8th grade. If it's their sophomore year and they haven't started with an Algebra 1 course yet, then that goal of taking AP Calculus their senior year just got a lot harder to obtain. It's just that it's easier to go down in tracks than go up. I think at Bridgeway, it's easy for us to sort of track the students in an honors track and then pull them back down by adjusting their curriculum if it is too difficult for them. Webinar 3 discussed enrichment and extracurricular engagement and how important it is for students to be involved in their community and how much colleges are weighting this fact. At Bridgeway, I think we do a good job at this with our community service logs and encouraging students to get out into their communities, their churches, their local shelters. We do the famine, 30-hour famine. All of these things encourage students to be involved with the community around them. The next webinar, number 4, was on college and career exploration and selection process. This webinar was talking about encouraging students to try lots of different things. If a student thinks they are going to be an art major, encourage them to go shadow someone who is an art major, whether it's an art teacher, whether it is someone who works in an art gallery or a museum. Encourage them to go see what's happening. If shadowing is not available, you could go to a science lab, go somewhere and try to just picture yourself in that environment on a daily basis. It also encouraged going to the colleges that you may be thinking about and seeing what actually goes on there. Sometimes it's much different than what it looks like on their website. Webinar 5 was college and career assessments. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of taking the PSATs, the SATs, the ACT, and the SAT subject area tests, as well as some biases in each test, and when students really should try to take these exams. Webinar 6 discussed college affordability planning. It discussed the costs of college, and it stressed student financial literacy. It stressed applying early or completing your FAFSA early, talking about different scholarships. I think Bridgeway maybe could do some more research on scholarships and send it out to families. Webinar 7 was college and career admission processes. Again, they stressed early planning and being proactive here. If you're an NCAA athlete, know what you need to do before you're a junior. And I think we at Bridgeway do a great job in pinpointing these students. Also discussed dual enrollment, as well as using the common application for college essays. And Chapter 8 discussed the transition for high school graduation to college enrollment. It highlighted that this transition can be very difficult for some students, how students who are well prepared tend to do better with this transition. Students who wait to the last minute to prepare themselves tend to have some problems in the beginning of college, especially if they are going away to school, but also in terms of workload.